Hello and welcome to possibly the most embarrassing episode of Bears and Games, where I look at the Nintendo classic Punch-Out in its various iterations. I, of course, couldn't have the Mike Tyson Punch-Out version because I never owned a Nintendo, but here we're going to play Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream, which is apparently pretty much the same thing, only without Mike Tyson. It does, however, have Little Mac, who was a character that I really liked when I did play this game once at my friend Lee's house. So this is literally the first time I played Punch-Out since it was released in '87. But I'm not really looking at this game from the perspective of me being good or bad at this game, however it may be. Who knows? Maybe I'm great at this game. That's not really the point. What I'm looking at is more the role that the masculine cartoon images really played in your childhood. When you look back at a game like Punch-Out, you have to wonder, did this affect me? These aren't erotic male characters at all, but they're characters that, you know, okay, maybe not Glass Joe, but characters that sort of inspire masculinity. And it sort of makes you wonder, was the exposure that you had in your childhood, especially given that we were nerds, to, hey, see, I won my first fight against Glass Joe, so anything is better. But as nerds, we were exposed to this sort of stuff at a very concentrated level. And it's not just games like Punch-Out, it's also comic books, and also stuff like, say, Voltron. How many people here, how many of you guys listening really were drawn to the character Hunk from Voltron? And why did this happen? Why, as kids, were we so interested in the masculinity? It's one of those chicken and the egg situations, if you think about it. Were we drawn to these big bear characters and the masculinity of games like Punch-Out because we were, even as a child, already predicated towards the big manly men? Or was exposure to this sort of stuff really what got us into being, the bear admirers that we are? Did we maybe identify more with this? I would not call Punch-Out a gay game, but there's certainly iconography, which, if you're a homosexual kid, might actually appeal to you. Subliminally or subconsciously. Now, I'm not saying it's some sort of weird underground effort to get kids to be gay, and I don't think that Nintendo drawing King Hippo here was trying to make kids into chubby chasers. But the characters in this game and their just blatant masculinity did appeal to me as a kid. I thought that the boxers were super cool. I thought that King Hippo was awesome. I thought that Bald Bull was awesome. I didn't really know why at the time. And I was always drawn to characters like that. I was always drawn to Hunk. He was my favorite character in Voltron. But let's move on to the next one. As you can see, I did incredibly well in Punch-Out. Now, Super Punch-Out came out in the mid-90s, I think 94 for the Super Nintendo. It was one of the later Super Nintendo games. And it's actually really, technologically, quite an achievement. I mean, Punch-Out 1 was a great achievement, too, for the SNES, or for the regular Nintendo, just the giant characters that they came up with, and getting them to animate on the screen. But the level of quality of the fighters in this is, going back and looking at this, is something that you'd expect to see like on the DS, or PS1, or PSP, and it's being done on a 16-bit system back then. I mean, obviously there wasn't a lot of elements going on here. But anyway, back to the whole masculinity thing. Here's another game that is not made to turn you on. It's a game that was made with very cartoonish masculine fighters that are almost ethnic caricatures, if you will. Like here, what's his face?
Bear Hugger!
Bear Hugger, yeah. He's, to me, he's not a character that I would find erotic, but he's a character that I would associate with something I find erotic. Like, he looks like some guys I've gone on dates with, and Bald Bull actually looks like, oddly enough, a Lebanese guy that I know, not a Turkish guy. And, yeah. I failed at Super Punch-Out 2, got completely destroyed. Punch-Out's really not a game for me. I like it, you know, I like the characters and I like the design, but I am so god-awful at Punch-Out that I've really not been able to get anywhere in these games. I'm going to try the Wii one a bit more, because I got up to the Great Tiger, but it's kind of been a little humiliating. And I didn't need to put on the strap for this game. The only game I've ever needed to put the strap on for is Boom Blocks, because I flung a Wiimote at a TV set. Back to Punch-Out. Now, this is a very well-made game. The graphics and gameplay. 1, 2. It didn't do very well financially. It didn't sell a ton. I recommend picking it up if you love Punch-Out. And it continues that borderline bearish guys. Like, I mean, Bear Hugger really is a big chub bear, but and King Hippo too is quasi appealing towards the chubs. But they're all too much to the cartoon zone to really be considered as erotic elements, you know. But they do contain, as I said before, elements that you build up to finding erotic later, and would, as a kid, find really appealing if you were, you know, a proto-bear. Oddly enough, Bear Hugger there is from Salmon Arm, BC. And as a bit of trivia, Mr. BC Bear 2004 was also from Salmon Arm. Coincidence? Yes, it was a coincidence. This game was programmed by Next Level Games, I believe, which was a block away from my old work. So there you go. Back when I lived in BC.
Hey, Mac, baby, listen up. This kid loves the bear hug. He can't hug you if he can't catch you. Keep out of his way.
I don't want to be hugged. Now, the trainer is actually another bear that, you know, you have to remember when you're going through the series. I mean, it does have a lot of big chubby guys, and one thing I love about the new version is just the small slideshow elements, giving you a little background behind each character. And once again, you can see that the male form isn't accentuated in a way that, you know, say Tom of Finland or Final Fight does, but it's there. So when you were looking at this game, as a kid, you know, one element I do have to deal with the new one, speaking of gay characters in games, is Disco Kid. Now, whether or not you think he's gay is, I guess, up for debate. But it seems to me pretty damn obvious that this is a gay caricature. But I don't find this as offensive as, say, the stuff I talked about in Grand Theft Auto. So, really, when you think about it, when you talk to guys who like bears, not so much bear guys themselves who, say, are into twinks, but guys who not only, you know, might be bears themselves, but have always kind of immersed themselves in wrestling or comic books or stuff that involves big, you know, really manly men, you'll find that they were drawn to this stuff as kids, which really does make me wonder, where the hell did we actually become bear guys? Like, when did we become bear admirers? I honestly can tell you that I was always drawn to, like, Dom DeLuise in movies, and I was drawn to, like, the big dumb guys, in films, and I don't know why. King Hippo actually kind of reminds me of someone I went on a date with once. He wasn't that bad. He was a nice guy. He kept a gun in his car, though, which was kind of weird. But back to the game.
He can always take a whooping.
As you can see, I slowly got better and won a couple of fights. And in the end, even in the Nintendo version, I got to the part where you're running behind your trainer and wearing the pink jumpsuit, and you get up to the Statue of Liberty. That was the iconic point in everyone's childhood, except for mine, since I had a Sega Master System. Rocky was better. Graphics were better. Had Mr. T. God damn it.
Keep it up.
That's his penis.